their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
There we go. Line in. Right there. 54 Mike. We're going to 54. Line in.
They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Mike 5-4. Come on. Check 3.
On second down, it's Elliott. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. Cowboys and Eagles, of course, such a great rivalry. Last year, the Cowboys got the better of the Eagles both times that they met, with Philly coming off their Super Bowl title. But in weeks 10 and 14, it was Dallas beating Philly by a single possession. To throw is Prescott. Cooper's got it. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. At the 40-yard line. The last run got 9. That leaves him with second and a yard. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be third down. On the crossing route, complete. That's Lamb. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. Slam, slam. Hey, watch this, watch this.
A first down carry by Elliott. Directly over it. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. And that's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. They keep on the ground with Elliott. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, Elliott. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
some of the most unselfish players on any football team? Defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Wentz now to throw. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And got his man complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Prescott to throw it. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Well, using Zeke Elliott in the passing game, that's something Cowboy fans are getting used to. Last year, 77 receptions. And you think back to his rookie season, he had 32 and then 26 his second year. But he's really on the uptick. 2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Throwing, Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. This is the former Nittany Lion, the rookie Miles Sanders. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Great. Least by two.
From just shy of midfield, Wentz going for the deep ball. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Hey, one set. Check back 54.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. He's going to look deep down the field. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good with a PAT. And that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Looking to throw. Prescott. He's got the connection to Cooper. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And that will be incomplete. Nickel Roby-Coleman there defensively.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command. But under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Hey, check Mike, 27.
To try again after the sack. Wentz. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. And a sack by one of the most consistent D linemen in the game, Gerald McCoy.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Kill.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. There goes a deep ball, end zone. That ball is caught. It's Gallup, touchdown Cowboys. Michael Gallup, his 1st touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Zuerlein good with a PAT. And that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. Well, this was a 14-0 game. Not too long ago, things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
No running room for Zeke on first down as he'll maybe get a yard out of that. Tackled that time by Sidney Jones. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. 10th carry now for Elliott. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
He was brought down by Javon Hargrave. A 1-yard pickup brings up 3rd and 8.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL.
54. Check. Watch 54.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
He's going to want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Well, a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. A good passing down here, and they send 3 receivers to the right of the formation on 2nd down. Throwing is Wentz. Flushed out right. He'll take a shot for the end zone.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on fourth down. Going for it with Sanders. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Working from the gun, Wentz. He's going to let this go for the end zone. Got a man open, it's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They got 29 yards that time. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Prescott now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. And down right around the 37. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy 1st down. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check 26.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter if it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Dak Prescott last year against Philly, boy, biggest game of his career passing yardage-wise, 455 yards, 3 touchdowns in a 29-23 December victory over the Eagles. Oh, Prescott stripped.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Marquise Goodwin, 93 yards. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. I love watching Goodwin play. Of course, everybody knows the story of him being an Olympian. He's a long jumper,
yes,
right?
Yes.
But you know that he has that athleticism, that big playability.
He certainly does. And not only was he an Olympian as a long jumper, married to a sprinter. How about that for speed in one family? And I love his end zone celebrations now. When he does go deep and beat someone for a touchdown, now he does the long jump as his celebration. Pretty cool deal.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas 1st down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Prescott now. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Prescott now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. Prescott from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brandon Graham, his 2nd sack of the night.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Prescott. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Prescott. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A heck of a play there on third down, but amazingly, they're still short for fourth.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
But he will be stopped behind the line as he will not come close to the marker. The Cowboys here unable to convert on fourth down. And the Eagles defense able to hold. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Credit the tackle there to Jordan Lewis. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll go again with Sanders.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On third down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. He needed a yard, that's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Back now in Arlington. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Here's Wentz to throw. Deep ball for Goodwin. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 64 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. As his guys continue to pour it on. Elliott good with a PAT. And that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
Let's go.
First down, Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Now, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
3rd and long for Prescott. Got an open man to tight end Jarwin. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there of 22.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 16 and a Dallas first down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Check.
Prescott on first down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On second down, Prescott again. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and now it's third down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. Now Prescott on fourth down. His throw caught at about the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. From 17 yards out. And the Cowboys are in for 6. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, then you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Oh, able to avoid him. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Another run here with Sanders. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll run with Sanders, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. From the 38, Prescott. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Prescott looks to throw on first. And this one's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Prescott had his hands on it but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Let's get in there. Let's get in there.
50.
And again, it's Prescott. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. picked up by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
A first down run, not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and